What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel where I inspire your desire to be great. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching another video, you guys. So I know y'all probably wondering why I got the same clothes on that I had on in the same video. That's because I'm filming the same video in the same night. So I don't care what y'all gotta say. It's currently 12:25 a.m. Can't sleep, so I figured I would shoot a video for you guys, shoot today's video tomorrow for y'all. So I'm not gonna hold y'all long. To my amazing supporters, thank you guys so much for your amazing support. You guys inspire me to keep making videos. Y'all already know from the jump, the goal of this channel is to inspire as many people as possible all across the world and help as many people as possible all across the world. So if you haven't seen my previous videos on relationships, definitely go and check them out before you watch this video. So y'all, in my last video 107, I talked about like getting out of a toxic relationship. In this video, as y'all can tell by the title, I want to tell you guys like the signs of a toxic relationship, because you can be in a situation and you're not aware of the situation that you're in. So I want to help you guys be aware. If you're in a relationship and you're like, okay, I'm not sure if this means it's toxic or it's not, I'm gonna help y'all figure that out right now. Okay, so first sign of the fact that you may be in a toxic relationship with someone is if you are constantly arguing. I'm not gonna lie, in relationships you do go through phases where like y'all disagree and stuff like that, and y'all do, you know, have arguments and stuff like that. But if that phase like linger like for a long time, and I touched on this a little bit in my last video, but if that phase is past like a year, 2 years, 3 years, like if you find yourself in a relationship for 3 years and y'all still arguing, like y'all can't sit and talk about things, y'all still can't like come to a mutual agreement on things, y'all can't learn to agree to disagree, that relationship is toxic and it's not something that you want to be in. Find a way to get out. Either find a way to fix like whatever issues that are toxic in the relationship, which is probably more difficult than walking away. Like just try to fix those issues or just walk away from the relationship. But that to me is like one of the #1 red flags that you're in a toxic relationship. If you're constantly arguing, if you're constantly like going at it, if you're constantly getting mad at each other about things, if y'all can't get past little things, if y'all find yourself holding grudges over the smallest things, or not even just the smallest things, but if y'all find yourself like not being able to forgive each other for something, that can cause a relationship also to be toxic. So that's one. These are like in not really any specific orders. I'm just giving y'all like my experience personally. That's one, and my observation too. So the second way is, if similar to what I said, if y'all could never have like mutual agreements in a happy, healthy relationship, you're supposed to be able to agree to disagree. You gotta have at least a few things that you could mutually agree on, or most importantly, y'all want to agree like on major things. That's what I should say. Major things like how many children you want. Do y'all want children? Because it would not be good like if you want to be in a relationship with somebody and they want kids but you don't want kids. That's gonna make the relationship toxic over time. If you stay with that person for like 3-4 years and they're really not trying to have a kid but you really want kids, that can cause like a major problem in the relationship, and that can cause a relationship to be toxic. If you're one religion and they're another one, and they believe one thing while you believe another thing, and I'm telling y'all this from experience, that can cause the relationship to be toxic. Why? Because your values in your religion versus their religion are different. And that could just cause y'all to bump heads. That could cause y'all to be at each other's throats all the time. Why? Because you want one thing while they want another thing. Speaking on that, another way a relationship is toxic or become toxic, that's what this video is all about. Like the ways relationship end up becoming toxic, or what makes relationship toxic. If y'all want the same thing but at different times. I've seen this for myself like on multiple occasions. If y'all want the same thing at different times, for example, like I want to be with you but you don't want to be with me right now, that can make the relationship toxic, because y'all want the same thing but just at 2 different times. And the time frame on that isn't like, it's so important. Sometimes you could compromise and be like, okay, I could wait it out, and there are other times you're like, no, I don't know if I could wait it out. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that can cause a relationship to be toxic, or that's a sign that a relationship is toxic. If y'all constantly finding yourself wanting the same thing but at 2 different times. So you trying to buy your house right now, but he's trying to buy a house 5 years from now. Your goal is to get married, but he's trying to get married 10 years 10 years from now. That could be another sign of the relationship being toxic. Number 3, difference in values and principles. This is similar to what I've mentioned before, but if you find like, okay, you want to have kids, for example, after you get married, but they are okay with having kids before you get married, that could cause the relationship to be toxic. Why? Because let's say as the woman, you do decide to give into their perspective or give into what they actually want. That could take a toll on you long term, especially as a woman. You spend more time with the kids. Why? Because you're breastfeeding them, you're nurturing them, like you're taking a little bit more care of them than the guy does. So that could take a toll on you a lot more than it take a toll on them. So those are things that can cause the relationship to be toxic, is if two people are together and their principles and their values are just different. So if you're getting in a relationship, or if you're in a relationship already, make sure you define like what your principles are. What do you believe in? What does the other person believe in? What are your standards? What are my standards? You know what I mean? Do you believe in, because that's another thing. And I'm not saying a relationship can't work if he has a boss mentality while she has an employee mindset. I'm not saying it can't. I'm just saying it could cause the relationship to be a lot more toxic. So if he has like an entrepreneur boss mentality, so he's always on the road, he's always working this and this and this, but with the female, she like a guy that, he has a 9 to 5 because she feels like, the schedule is more balanced, she get to see him more and stuff like that. That could cause the relationship to be toxic again, because you both want two different things, okay? And you can't come to a mutual agreement on those two different things that you want. Another one, this is like a big one. This should have been number 1. I should have said this before anything. If there's any form of abuse in a relationship, physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, the relationship is a toxic relationship. There's no way you gonna be happy when your health ain't right. If he hitting you and he's doing abusive things to you, there's no way that relationship can be healthy. Y'all, there's no way at all. Like, absolutely not. I feel like this is a whole separate video, but domestic violence is a real issue. That's what it's called in America. I don't know what it's called in other parts of the world, but domestic violence is a real issue and it needs to be handled. But I'm not going to get into that anyways. But yeah, domestic violence in a relationship, whether it's physical abuse, like I said, I remember in high school, I had a friend, like, she was in an abusive relationship and it didn't last. It was toxic. It became toxic because when you have those physical signs of abuse on you, it causes problems amongst your friends. You know what I mean? And they're going to have concerns and they're going to start, drama with your man and different things like that. Like, it's just not healthy. Like, if you're in an abusive relationship, find a way to get out and get out alive. It's not healthy. So that's a number 1 red flag. That's a complete toxic relationship. If somebody's abusing you, if somebody's putting you down, calling you names and stuff like that, that stuff is not cool. You definitely want to get out. And I don't know about anybody else, but from what I know, I'm not going to say experience, but from what I know, very few people that are abusive in a relationship change. Like, very few that I know change. Okay, so I'm gonna get off of that. Next way to know if a relationship is toxic, if there's a lot of control. Like, if the person is constantly controlling you, whether it's a guy, whether it's a girl, they're telling you what you can and can't do, where you could go, you can't have friends, like this and this and this, like, boo, that's a trap. Get out. That's a toxic relationship. If you can't have friends, if you can't go out, if you can't spend time with the people that you love, they're always trying to keep you away from them and stuff like that, that's a sign of a toxic relationship, okay? If they're telling you pretty much what you can and can't do, self-explanatory, you don't want to be in a relationship like that. That's a toxic relationship. And number 6, how the person makes you feel in the relationship. If that person makes you feel like confident in yourself, positive, happy, joyful, peaceful. Like, you're not going to bed at night worried like who they're messing with or who they're giving their time and their attention to and stuff like that. That's a good relationship to be in. If the person doesn't have you worrying or having like mental issues, almost where like you're depressed, where you're stressed out, where your appetite is low, where you always sad, you're always down, you're not smiling, you're not doing the things that you enjoy. That's a toxic relationship. That's an unhealthy relationship that you don't want to be in. The type of relationship that you want to be in is a relationship that's happy, that makes you flourish, that makes you glow. Anyways, y'all, but yeah, those are the signs of a toxic relationship. So I'm gonna do a little recap. 1, constantly arguing. 2, never having mutual agreements. Y'all can't agree to disagree, or y'all can't have agreement on anything at all. 3, difference in values and principles. 4, abuse, whether verbal, physical, emotional, mental, whatever you want to call it. Abuse is abuse. That's a toxic relationship. 5, control. And 6, mental illnesses or emotional instability, I guess, if that makes sense. Like anything that's affecting you emotionally, where it's making you down, where it's making you sad, where it's making you wary, where it's making you overwhelmed, where you can't function, where you can't focus on what you're doing because of this like relationship. It's a toxic relationship. So those are the signs of a toxic relationship. I'm sure there's probably more that I may have missed, but these are the ones that I'm aware of. These are the ones that I know of from experience and from, of course, talking to other people or from people that are around me. So if you're in a toxic relationship, again, I encourage you to be strong and either fix the things that are causing the relationship to be toxic, see if you could work it out with your significant other, or just leave and move on. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in relationship 109. Thank you for watching this video. Yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe. You never know who this video can help. So I will see you guys in the next video, where I inspire your desire to be great.